when talking about the evil counterstream, it is very important for us to distinguish between evil and what I would refer to as just simply criminality. There is a difference between the two. Just because somebody is a murderer or a criminal, that does not necessarily make them evil. When you look at criminality, very often it is ultimately based on selfishness. It's based on a result of human beings who've had very, very difficult childhoods, who suffered a lot of abuse as children. And who knows, you or I, if we were in the same situation, who knows, we might have turned out the same way. And usually in these situations, this is the normal balancing out. Karma will sort it out. We fall in one lifetime, we learn our lessons in the next lifetime. That does not make us evil. In the same way, when I described to you earlier the polarity of Lucifer and Ahriman, whilst the beings themselves have an evil influence, just because we succumb to this influence and are too idealistic, too dreamy, are in illusion, or we are too much in matter and materialistic, that does not make us evil. To be properly and rightfully regarded as an evil human being, you have to be involved in one or two or both areas. One characteristic that will lead you to the evil pathway is when people take pleasure in inflicting pain and suffering on other people. When people get pleasure out of cruelty, just for cruelty's sake, not because of personal gain, not because they hurt somebody in the process of robbing something, but to inflict cruelty simply out of pleasure. And that will lead you towards a pathway that's referred to as the black pathway, the black magicians. And it is part of the esoteric training program for black magicians to actually practice that cruelty. And each time such cruelty is being inflicted, either for the sake of pleasure or for the sake of gaining more power, then you're on the path towards evil. The second pathway towards evil is all those people, and they're usually already people who are advanced on the black path, who will have consciously chosen the alternative evolutionary pathway, who will deliberately and consciously seek to join the eighth sphere. And therefore, they will consciously work against the progressive pathway of evolution. So it's quite possible, for instance, that people are working in technologies and in spheres of life which contribute greatly towards the enslavement of humanity, towards the merging of the human being with the machine, such as in transhumanism, all of which leads towards the downward trajectory into the eighth sphere. But people do that unconsciously, thinking that they're doing something good for humanity. So such people working in the stream of evil, but not yet being evil themselves. They may be just simply misguided. So it's a question of what their activities will be in subsequent incarnations, but they're making themselves very vulnerable to slide into the counter stream simply as a result of not being conscious and aware enough, not having enough internal moral good sense and conscience.